So I am very late on starting my seed starts this year. In my defense, I had planned to start them later. I always get really excited in like February and then end up with really tall, leggy seedlings when I go to plant. Unfortunately, I kind of overcorrected and now I am so far behind. On the homestead in the spring, it always sort of feels like you're behind, but this, I legitimately am behind on this. So I decided I've got my tea, I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna get as much planted as I can in the amount of time that I have and at least get something going here. I use a seed starting mix, I think it's by ProMix. I like to soak my seed starting mix before I put it into my trays. It just lets the cells soak up water much easier. I am in Ontario, Canada, so I'm zone 5 and my last frost date is mid-May. Even though my last frost date is mid-May, I actually don't put any of my warm weather crops out until the first week in June. I, on more than one occasion, have pushed that and thought I would be okay, and then was running around in the middle of the night with sheets trying to cover up all of my poor little starts that I had in the ground. I find I'm not really much further behind if I just wait that extra 2 weeks and put them in the ground a little bit later when there's no risk of frost. I like to just use 6-cell or I have 4-cell seed starting trays. I'll just put these on a heat mat with some grow lights. Most of my seeds I do 2 per cell. And then I like to actually use yogurt containers or sour cream containers, whatever plastic food grade containers I have. I cut them up and then I just use them as labels. And it never fails. I will absolutely lose some of these labels by the time I have fruit and not know what I planted, but at least I try. We're all just doing our best. I like to plant a variety of peppers. I seem to do really well at growing hot peppers, which I don't like, but my husband loves. But I never do very well at growing sweet peppers, so I have kind of given up on that. So in typical me fashion, I am absolutely just chaos gardening this. I have no plan. I don't know how many peppers I need. I don't know how many tomatoes I need. I'm just throwing this stuff in and I'll get what I get and not be upset. Also in true me fashion, last year I searched everywhere for these Anaheim peppers. I really wanted to make a bunch of salsa verde and can it. I grew a bunch and then I did not have time to process them and they ended up rotting, which was super sad. So my goal this year is that I actually get these processed. Sometimes you can only do what you can do. Last year I started my brassicas way too early. It was the first year that I've actually started them from seed myself, and I had read that they took a really long time. Mine popped up almost immediately and were so leggy by the time the frost was out of the ground enough that I could put them in. So I don't think I'll have that problem this year. We ate a ton of broccoli, so I am hoping that these do well this year. Last year, by the time I got them out, they did not do well. We had a really cool, wet spring, and then it was blazing hot, and we had a horrible drought. So my brassicas did not like it. Do I think I need 12 broccoli plants? Probably not. I should contain myself here. I always go to the extreme. We do have a farm stand in the works. The plan was to have it ready by this spring. It's delayed a little bit. As with most things, there's so many projects on the homestead that sometimes things get delayed and other things have to take a back seat. I know it will get done eventually. My plan had been to sell some seed starts. Obviously, that is not going to happen. I almost ended up having to buy some from other people here, but I think I got things going. If I have some extras at the end and people are interested, I guess I can still sell them. That isn't totally off the table. Oh, loofah. I definitely want to try loofah. I have tried loofah a few times. I have never been very successful with it. With how late I am starting these, I am not sure that these are actually going to do anything. I'll soak these for about 24 hours. I will Google that first though, because I can't exactly remember the amount of time that I should be soaking those for. I did that last year and I had a really great germination rate. So I'm gonna try that again this year. with the late start, I don't know if I've given them enough lead time, but I guess we'll see. This soil actually could have been a little bit more damp, but it'll be okay. These are the tiniest seeds. They're tomatillos. I had a really good germination rate on these last year, and I got them in the ground in enough time, but our season they didn't like it. It was really difficult for a lot of my garden last year. We luckily have a really good well, but we were in a very severe drought, and a lot of people around us had no water. So I was definitely conserving water, and watering our garden wasn't a top priority. The plan is to start our food forest this year. I guess I kind of started it last year. We got some strawberries, some blueberries, and some asparagus in. So we got those going. We also have raspberry vines that were here already. I'm looking to get some trees planted. Oh, we also have a pear tree here. My plan is to get some apples, another pear, probably a couple of peaches. There are some varieties that grow okay here. I'm limiting myself. I only did 4 instead of 6. So I do so many tomatoes every year and I just can't keep up with them. So I end up wasting them. I give them away, I gift them, and it's more than I really need. The plan is going to be to sell some produce at the farm stand. So, I mean, I guess I could plant a few extra. Hear me justifying myself? It's always so hard to decide which ones I'm planting. I have so many tomato varieties. Last year I planted a variety that was little yellow tomatoes and they were so sweet and I really liked them, but I don't know now which variety that was. I guess that's what happens when you chaos garden. Here we are, tray 1 is done. We're late starting, but we got started and that's what matters most. I'll get these on some heat mats and under some lights. They'll germinate fairly quickly, hopefully, and we'll get these in the ground once they're big enough to be outside. I'll keep you posted on their progress. We were able to get this big pile of wood chips from a company called Chip Drop. I just signed up for it and I got them free. They'll be going into the garden to line our paths. Our garlic is up. I plant a hardneck variety in the fall. It's usually the first thing to pop up in the spring. The chickens have already been getting into this garlic, and I have over here a partial casualty. I think it'll be okay, it'll come back, but we got to get the fence fixed so that this doesn't keep happening. Our rhubarb has popped up. Last year I planted about 25 strawberry plants. Some of them are starting to pop up here. But I will say there's less than there was when I came out the other day, so the chickens have definitely gotten to them.